Welcome to Tender Heart. There are often some stories that make you believe in miracles of nature. The story of Mary Kranick is no less. Before we continue this story, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you get updated every time we post new videos. With that said, let's dive right into it. Mary was an American woman living in Minnesota who found herself pregnant at the age of 24. Her husband was loving and excited for their parental life. By January, Mary was 8 months pregnant and fully healthy. One day, when she was driving home in her car, returning from the city covered with snow, suddenly her car stopped. She realized that it could not go on anymore. So she got out of her car, hoping that soon special vehicles would come by and pick her up. But the snowstorm was getting stronger, and for half an hour no one appeared. It was getting dark very fast and she was scared to be completely alone in a snowstorm. So she decided to travel the small distance left to her home on foot. After walking about a half a mile, she started feeling that she was going into labor. She could not walk any further and sat under the nearest tree. And after 5 minutes, she lost consciousness from the cold and pain. Before passing out, she thought that was the end of her story and her child. But what actually happened after does not have any explanation. Without knowing how much time she spent there unconscious, when she came back to her senses, she felt warm in her head and realized that she was lying on the back of a huge gray wolf. There were about 9 more of them that surrounded Mary with a tight ring, protecting her from the snowstorm. They did not show any aggression at all and were going around her like nannies in about 20 minutes right there in the snow. She gave birth to a beautiful baby right there, and one of the she-wolves carefully cut the umbilical cord and then licked the baby with love. It was as if they clearly knew and understood what and how to do it. The rest of the wolves snuggled and warmed Mary, while the she-wolf gnawing the umbilical cord slightly pushed the baby towards Mary with her nose as the child started crying, signaling to be fed. While Mary breastfed her baby for the first time, the wild predators were nearby protecting them from the snowstorm with a dense wall. At one point, the leader licked the snow and tears off her cheeks and comforted her like a member of their family. Soon, Mary's husband found the abandoned car covered with snow and started looking for Mary nearby. Seeing the wolf pack, people decided that the most terrible thing must have happened. One of the men from the search party took his gun and started shooting into the air, making the wolves scatter. They still remained close to Mary and her baby. The husband then saw his wife with the newborn in her arms and was shocked to see that the predators were staying nearby all this time, despite the group of people around. The wolves were not leaving her alone until she was safe. The pack watched Mary and the baby being carried to the car. An hour later, they reached the hospital and were taken good care of by the staff. A few days after this incident, while Mary gave an interview to reporters, she said that she was sure the pack leader would definitely not forget her, and she was going to find time to visit them someday, at the same place where the pack of wild and bloodthirsty predators saved her and her baby from inevitable death. She was sure that the pack members will definitely recognize both her and her child, because it was not just some random situation. She felt a connection with the wild beasts and knew that they would come to meet her. As the news spread like wildfire, forest rangers and hunters refused to comment on the incident as they had never seen anything like it. Other experts believed that the wolves could smell the child and their maternal instincts kicked in. Of course, they discouraged the young woman from meeting her bloodthirsty saviors, not understanding how they might react this time. But Mary believed that there was absolutely nothing to fear, and she was for sure looking forward to meeting her friend soon. What do you think of this story? Tell us in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video too. I'll see you in the next video with more exciting topics. See ya!